114 runs off, 94 runs off, 84 runs off. That is how off we are when our score predictions are coming, because Sri Lanka.
Oh, he's talking about our score prediction.
Yes.
I thought he's saying so many.
No.
Right now telling us scores.
No.
Let's say Kushal Mendis, 122 of 77. Then I was wondering, why is he saying 94 of?
Yeah.
Nobody scored 94.
Exactly.
No.
Because Sri Lanka 344 for 9. Thanks to brilliant centuries from Kusal Mendis and Samarawickrama. Aided by a rather very important 51 at the top from Patum Nisanka. Yeah. Because Nisanka and Mendis ensured.
थोड़ा नीचे जाना है उसमें.
Imagine from overs 21 to 30, they scored 102 runs. 102. And they didn't have a great flourish towards the end also.
That is what I wanted to point out. They were 300 in 42 overs.
42 overs, yes.
42 overs, you reach 300. Last 8 overs,
44.
you usually get 12 and over. But I'm saying, even if I'm being very conservative with enough wickets in hand, 10 and over though is minimum.
9,
so
9,
from
10,
there you should have got 380 minimum. In fact, at one point it looked like Sri Lanka will get 400.
Yes.
But I'm saying, even if that wasn't the case, till 42nd over with just 8 overs to go, you should have got 380 for sure. And the fact that they've just gone 344 is quite similar to what England did today earlier in the game versus Bangladesh. The only difference was Bangladesh does not have the batting to have chased that total down.
Yep.
This, I don't know whether people want to call it, but could be tricky.
No, I do agree, because again, normally what we've seen so far is a trend. Under lights, it gets easier to bat. I think Siddharth and me were discussing also just before. I said, if one of their batters, Babar in particular, has that tendency of scoring daddy hundreds, said they'll stick around here, get big runs, I don't think it's a challenging pitch to bat on.
I think it will get slower, because if you notice, batting became good for the first 10 to 15 overs in Hyderabad, 2 matches that you saw. After that, it became difficult. And okay, we may also be guilty of reading into the fact that it was Netherlands.
Exactly, both matches have featured the Netherlands. I'm not reading too much into that.
But this Pakistan batting lineup, as I said, it's like the 90s. I think this is slightly over their comfort zone.
Of course it is. I'm just saying, if Babar gets a big 100, then I'm not ruling them out. Because again, I think with Sri Lanka, the problem was that top order gave you plenty of runs. Lower order once again struggled. Dhananjay De Silva got a start. Shanaka, again, as I said, his woes continue.
Woeful.
I'm only surprised because I think we've already seen 2 games in Hyderabad, if I'm not mistaken.
This is the third game.
This is the third game. Both games were assisting spin bowlers. I don't know why. So I don't know what to make of it. Is it that there could be 3 options? Is it that the pitch, this particular pitch, is different to the pitches that we saw in the previous 2 games, which is possible because we've seen few pitches change their nature on the same ground. So either that's one of the reasons, maybe it's a different strip. The second option could be that Sri Lanka batted so much better because they are good players of spin, batted so much better than what we saw till now in these Hyderabad conditions. Or the third option, which has seemed to think is the most likely option, or maybe the option 1 and option 3 or combination of the third option, is that Pakistan bowled poorly. And I think today was one of the most listless bowling performances from Pakistan. We've always questioned their spinners, that is Nawaz and Shadab. They were once again listless, but that wasn't surprising. I think the surprising bit, which really stands out, is the fact, and this is going to worry Pakistan, and if you're an Indian fan watching, it's going to give you a lot of hope. The 2 threats, and then more often than not, you will have Shaheen Shah Afridi as well as Haris Rauf, 2 bowlers who will more often than not, no matter the conditions, even if I assume it's the first option of it being a different strip to the one that we've seen earlier and a batting friendly strip, which is why maybe, like Shane is pointing out, maybe Pakistan can chase it down. Even if it's a batting friendly pitch, it's not the kind of performance that you expect from Shaheen and Haris. Because what do we say about the Pakistan team? We say, okay, fine, batting pitch also, while their comfort zone is not 350, their comfort zone is, let's say, 300. But what do we say about them? On a flat track where everyone else is going to get 380 and Pakistan gets 300, but their advantages with their bowling, they'll be happy even on a flat track defending 300 because they have those kind of bowlers, especially Rauf and Afridi. Today, the two of them were just not penetrative enough, and you're not even up again. I mean, taking nothing away from Sri Lanka, they've got a good batting lineup, but you're not really facing South Africa, England, Australia. Even then I would have understood, like, you know, destructive batting lineups. So even if the best of the bowling lineups can on a day have off day, not the most destructive batting lineup, yet they've looked clueless. And I am beginning to fear for this Pakistan team. We had already said that India start quite the favourite. But with this performance, their one strength, we knew their weakness. Their one the batting was the weakness, we knew. Their spin bowling was the weakness, we knew. But their fast bowling, we used to always think is good enough. Today, you had to call upon an old warhorse in Hassan Ali to do the thing, where he showed his experience count. But
4 for 71, that too. Pakistan's Shardul Thakur.
Yeah, Rauf Afridi.
19 overs, 130 runs. And if you look at the spinners combined,
spinners we know are woeful and all.
139, 21. And that is why I think Sri Lanka have a trump card, because they have 4 spinners.
Very good.
Thikshana, maybe you can call upon Dhananjay De Silva, maybe you can call about Vellalage. Vellalage will be as accurate as Nawaz is. You have also got Charita Salanka also as a part-timer. 4 spinners, and with the ball, with not much of dew in Hyderabad, you'll see a lot more gripping of the surface there. And remember, Pakistan also, against spin, they sometimes self-destruct.
What I'm really reading right now is that a lot of people think that this is, as I said, the factor one, that it's a good pitch. So Pakistan would fancy their chances of trying to chase it down. But I kind of tend to agree with Siddharth that, the spinners that Sri Lanka have, and the frailties of Pakistan batting, had it been a different batting lineup, I would have kind of backed them to a chair. Like, let's say if it was an Indian batting team, I would have backed them simply because I see that kind of experience in that batting lineup. And I know that if it's a 344, they'll pace their inning. There will be a couple of guys who, even if you're in a precarious situation, know how to bring you out of that hole and take you to a total. You've seen it with a few batters, and there are multiple batters like that. With Pakistan, other than Babar, Rizwan to an extent,
Iftikhar.
But is Iftikhar that guy that can pull you out of a hole?
X-factor.
Yeah. Is Iftikhar that guy who, see, for chasing this, you need 1 or 2 guys to bat long.
Correct.
Right. And there are only 2 guys I see doing that, which are Babar and Rizwan.
Correct.
Unless your test batters that you were pointing out, both Abdullah Shafiq and Shot Shakil, dig their heels in and say, okay, we'll be those guys, and then all of you. But the problem is there are many guys like that. Abdullah Shafiq is like that. Imam is like that. Shot Shakil is like that.
That's the problem, because see, you normally would want, what is the England template? You just see, everybody is not bang bang. One is bang bang, the other is an anchor. But the problem in the Pakistan team,
everyone is bang bang.
In England, the anchor players, as I said, always point out 2.
Root and Stokes.
In fact, not even Stokes. Now Stokes not like Malan is the closest to an anchor, and today he was aggressive.
But even he was going back.
Yeah, because that's his normal template.
Yeah.
But so there is only one anchor.
In Joe route.
Here
it's the opposite. Here there's only one aggressor.
England are taking it
too far.
Completely opposite direction, too far, where they have, I think that they're trying to live up to that image. Sometimes, you have that image.
The ego of that image.
You say, somebody has like angry young man, so no matter what, you want to be an angry young man. So here it is, you are like dashers, you are the most aggressive team, where this, so no matter what the situation, like today, you didn't have to do the kind of things that they were doing.
Of course not.
Terrible. And today with Bangladesh, you can afford to do it. With a better team, if you have this kind of careless approach that we are, and by the way, it happened with New Zealand.
And in this pitch, this Dharamshala pitch, if it's a South Africa, an Australia, and India, 364 might not be enough. Against the Bangladesh, of course it's enough.
Especially when you are in a position to get 400.
Correct.
Which extreme,
and that is the reason why, if you look at this Pakistan batting, 5 anchors. You often said in the T20 format, we have 3 anchors.
They have 5 in ODIs.
In ODIs, they have 5. That is the problem with this. See, if Sri Lanka were 294, I would have then backed Pakistan to chase it because it's just about in their comfort zone. See, we will see good knocks from Babar, Rizwan, Iftikhar, even maybe Imam and Abdullah Shafiq might contribute. But again, the strike rate, can it match up to 150 or even 120?
Imam's career strike rate is about 70, which is
Enough said.
So, which is why I agree. That coupled with the fact that Sri Lankan spinners today, Thikshana is back.
80, but close enough.
Vellalage.
Vellalage, Dunit Vellalage is
Yeah.
back. There's also Charita Salanka. There's Dhananjay De Silva. If you want slower pace, you even got
Again,
Kasum.
Sri Lanka, I told you, like so much talent, but will underperform.
Yeah.
The only guy,
Kusal Pereira.
Yes.
Kusal, Mendis.
Mendes, sorry, not Pereira.
Mendes.
Mendes.
Pereira to also we said the same.
But zero.
Too much talent,
Too much talent,
but
but
will
underwhelmed.
waste it. Will not give you the start that you want.
It is
Kusal Mendes is there.
Finally, a continuation. He's actually been consistent, Kusal Mendis.
Yes, from the Asia Cup till now.
He hit that 93 against Pakistan, got out for duck in the final, but then 158 in that
Everyone
warm
got
up.
out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
158 in that warm up against Afghanistan, and also against Bangladesh he did well. South Africa, 9 sixes.
How come no IPL team thinks of Kusal Mendes?
I think already there are too many of these solid middle order batters that's there in
on,
each
yeah.
team. Kusal won't get a bid.
That's why I say, can I be honest? It's sometimes hype, and some countries. I'll give you an example. Please compare Harry Brook and Kusal Mendes. But Harry Brook will go, why? Because
England.
you will, England and Australian players now hyped up,
Yeah.
even in our media, and their media also does it.
Correct.
Somewhere down the line, players from sometime Bangladesh, Litton Das and all of that, players, and I'm even going to talk about Mushfiqur, not now, but at his peak.
Yeah,
He was always
ignored.
underplayed.
But I think
at
his reasons even beyond.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying, but sometimes you look at just pure cricketing thing. No, at one point he was
A dasher.
ahead of the curve. You could have looked at him. But what you do is, I give you another smaller countries like, not so much now, but Sandeep Lamichhane, when he was there, he was doing outstandingly well
Delhi.
at Big Bash, but would barely get any
A
games
game for Delhi.
So what happens with these smaller countries? Sometimes you underplay them, which is what I see with someone like a
Kusal
Kusal
Mendes.
Mendes. But Harry Brook will go for that much.
13
David Malan
crores.
will go for crazy amount of money.
Malan
right?
never
They
has
will-
gone for no.
2 crores, that's
he
it.
went for 2 crores at one
Yeah.
time
Two
because he
crores
was
was
the
his base price.
Yeah, but he went. No,
Yeah.
is what I'm saying. It's better
went.
than. But because these
Hills.
players come with that kind of reputation,
Yes.
we keep talking, England, Australia, sometimes even South African players are really hyped up
Yeah.
because you look at those leagues and somewhere in your mind you think, anyone who's doing well in these conditions is going to be
Sena countries.
outstanding.
Yeah.
But Sri Lankan players sometimes are underrated. You give me a choice to pick, as I said, Harry Brook versus Kusal Mendes. I'm going to go with Mendes any day. But teams don't see it.
Yeah, and also Mendes, now he's finding his purple patch after 7 years. When he was big, when he was been in the auction.
Shanaka, weren't they harsh on Shanaka as well during IPL auction? They brought him, I think, later.
Later,
of
He was
because
a
Williamson
replacement for
injured.
Williamson.
But remember how he was hammering us.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you sometimes look at the form also. Na? Somebody is in good form, you.
Yeah, you expected him to go for some money.
Yeah, he came in as a replacement only because Williamson got injured.
Exactly.
Otherwise, he was not even going to get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that-
Gujarat.
and if it is a West Indian player who comes and does the same thing to you, you will hire him.
No,
You
for
100% take him.
For West Indian players, you will scout leagues, no?
But you would have, let's say a West Indian player comes, like what Shanaka did to India. A
Oh, yeah,
West Indian player
100%.
comes, does that. There are so many examples that they've come, done it.
Sure, I think Hetmeyer early days
Yes.
went for big
Yeah.
money, largely underwhelmed.
Yeah, Puran
Nicholas
would come
Puran.
and
Yeah,
do
Nicholas
very
Puran,
well.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
you would pick up anyone who does, but somewhere Sri Lankan players.
Also, because see, their structure, their T20 structure is non-existent.
Yeah.
The SLPL is having a structure only now, but then we know the quality of the SLPL. I mean, see, we all
LPL,
want. Yeah, the LPL is there, but teams like Dambula or Jaffna Tigers, Colombo Kings, they are not going to inspire that much of IPL scouting for you. So that is why, I mean, if you look at it, Mendis, Samarawickrama, and already you've got too many middle order batters in that IPL teams. Where will they get a slot?
Yeah, actually, I think the lack of that tag of being dashers
Yes.
goes against them more than anything else.
But this is his best patch.
I
Kusal
think his
Mendis.
most consistent patch.
I got two very interesting comments. Akash Bhardwaj as well as Kaushal Kumar both thinking that Pakistan can do it, and that's quite different to what we're thinking here in the studio. At least me and Siddharth are of the opinion that Pakistan can't chase it down out of their comfort zone. I agree, and the Sri Lankan bowling that they have, I doubt it. Shane's the only one who's given Pakistan
And
some
that
chance.
was with a big
Marginal.
caveat. Big caveat.
Marginal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know why this batting lineup is. Maybe they want to say, oh, the hype should be there. Let Pakistan win this year so that at least India-Pakistan hype will happen then.
I don't think that's the case. No, it's because the only reason, and I'm giving you my personal, I don't know what other people, it really depends on which of the batsmen stick.
Yeah.
If it's a Babar or Rizwan, then you have faith that they can actually somehow go the distance, because someone like an Iftikhar, a Nawaz, a Shadab can play those quick fire runs, whilst those guys accumulate.
Yeah.
Both of them go, then forget about it. Then my pre-match prediction of Sri Lanka finally ending that run is correct.
Could be.
Okay, Ankit sent a chat. He's
Yeah.
a cousin of mine. He wants to know, have we got a Virat signed jersey?
Yes, we do.
You could
Yes.
see there it is. You want to meet him? No tickets for the semis final. Please check my Insta story also. Do not ask me for tickets. Tickets. I have no ticket. By the way, usually if you were to come, I could manage tickets once in a while. But this World Cup has been a nightmare.
Nightmare.
Yeah.
Nightmare.
What happened to
Very
those
tough.
14,000 tickets that the
Very
BCCI were going to release?
They keep
It was
saying
released to thin air.
release and it goes online, but when you try to book online, it's not available. It's crazy.
Telling you it's
But
released.
my suggestion is to Ankit and anyone else, come down here. Sometime you get tickets when you're here. But all of that
Even
happens
that
at
is-
but all of that happens in the black market and at the 11th hour.
Yeah.
So it's never going to be guaranteed that you'll get.
Yes, if you're traveling from Canada in the hopes that you'll get one ticket, don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
It's a bad situation right now.
Yeah. Can you take questions? Because I'm
Yeah.
rushed now. Huh?
All right.
Okay. Ashish Ranjan Singh, I think the total is chaseable since New Zealand chased a total of 343 very easily at Hyderabad itself. But again,
It depends on which Hyderabad strip, because I've seen 3 strips in Hyderabad. One was the absolute road, which he's talking about. New
Yeah.
Zealand and even Pakistan did really well in one match where they were batting like crazy.
but Ashish, you yourself have contacted by saying in a warm-up match. Always remember,
Warm-up matches don't count, man.
warm-up matches and intensity is never the same. I mean, can you believe it? People retired hurt and yet they got it in 40 overs. And remember, this will be a World Cup match with proper intensity. That is why I have said, I'm saying that it is advantage Sri Lanka because their spinners can bowl with much more control. If not for penetration, much more control.
Shriyansh, sorry, you were saying, complete your point.
If 2 spinners have a bad day, then only Pakistan has a chance.
Actually.
Only then.
An interesting point I wanted to take, and it comes from Shriyansh Pudipeti, and it comes why? Because of that Imamul Haq catch.
Yeah.
He's asking why is it that the boundary cushions are back? I think the ICC is being generous and giving the bowlers some chance.
Yep.
Because again, Hyderabad, not one of the biggest grounds if my memory serves me, right?
75 meters
And that
square.
Also, even that is square.
Yeah.
The forward ones are just like
I think
60
about
odd
65 meters.
So again, I think that we took that already. But I think that's why they're back slightly, and that's why I think it came up in conversation, because even we were debating it at the top on offices that
So see, what happens is we are all thinking, has the boundary been displaced
No,
yet
it's
again?
not. No.
It's not. The boundary was pushed back, but because you remember the linesmen, when the boundary markers, they draw a very thick line. Now, if you want to push it back even
It's
further,
very visible.
that line will be visible. But this time, the boundary ropes were not pushed back, which is why we felt that, okay, maybe it should be 6, because rule number 19.3.1 of the MCC playing conditions in a boundary, that happened in the Pakistan-Netherlands game. If the ball had gone to the line and the catch was taken and his hand was above the line, then it would have been declared a 6 or a 4, whatever it was. But this time the original boundary was slightly back. So that's why the catch was clean. So there is no controversy as such, because remember, the umpires will also have to check it.
correct.
So when the checking happened, it was like, okay, the boundary cushions are back primarily to extend the boundary
Just a bit.
just a bit. Okay, Akash Bharat is saying, I think this match will decide how Shanaka captains if Pak attacks.
He's saying because he elaborated on that point further down, and he said very clearly that why he said that is because Shanaka tends to sometimes be a little defensive. Of course, that's a criticism that can be leveled at Babar as well.
Yep.
But it's Babar's turn for captaincy at this point is gone.
Exactly.
Bapaditya Karan.
I agree,
after
Bapaditya.
A very long time. Good morning to you too.
Yeah.
Says I feel they should have got 370 and batted Park out of the match. Shanaka just broke the momentum. Correct. Shanaka, and that's why I was saying I'll wait and watch, because again that Delhi track, and I said it on the live on Sportstak. You guys can check it out. I said anyone will score runs there.
Yes.
So I'm not buying that thing that he got runs on that track. I want to see him do it on a better, even track.
But
Today he
today,
looked off. He didn't look
woeful.
like a batter.
woeful.
He didn't look like a batter.
Exactly. So that is why I really don't understand what has happened with Chanaka's batting. I mean, he used to be
Just
so
gone for a
good.
toss.
Yeah,
Earlier this year, just in 2023, he was coming to India and playing match-winning knocks.
exactly.
I don't understand where it went.
But again, when you get a lean patch, we hope it doesn't come at a wrong time for Chanaka.
Yeah,
It's come
exactly.
at a absolutely worst time for him. So.
Exactly, it's come at the worst time because it's come right at the World Cup time. Asia Cup also he was struggling, and now
Yes.
this.
Dhananjay De Silva is also an anchor, but don't understand why he bats down the order. But then, where will you slot Dhananjay De Silva, Tanmay Joshi? I mean, see, Kusal, Pereira, Patum, Nisanka, they are all settled at the opening position. Kusal, Mendis and Sadira Samarawickrama are your 3 and 4.
And even Samarawickrama is not a guarantee. I believe they're missing a couple of batters.
No, I think that's the only...
What's
he
his
was
name
constant until the Asia Cup also was there at number 4 only.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm saying they had someone else. I'm forgetting there was a
Avishka Fernando.
Vishka Fernando, yes.
But I think he wasn't picked. Injured. and
No,
also
Avishka
loss of
had
form.
COVID.
And COVID. But I think also loss of form.
form.
That's why Avishka was not picked. Maybe if you want Kusal Mendis, if Sri Lanka get the technical committee approval from the ICC, they could think of flying in Dhanushka Gunatilaka.
Gunatilaka was another one who.
But again, Gunatilaka just got released from jail and he's back in Sri Lanka after that.
which seems a bit doubtful, right?
We won't, because they already have Dimut Karunaratne there.
Exactly.
With Karunaratne there, why would you want to get Dhanushka Gunatilaka? Chandimal, Shreyans Pudipati, I think Chandimal's gone out of favor with white ball cricket for a very long time. He's just a test match specialist now.
At this point,
Chandimal.
Which is ironic because they don't really play that many tests.
Which is why it's a big problem. And again, remember, the inavailability and also the loss of form and fitness of one of your veterans, Angelo Matthews, also came at a bad time. So that's why Matthews, there is just no confidence. Just no confidence in his
And
abilities.
he's pretty much only become a batter now. He doesn't bowl.
Yeah. I think he will retire shortly by the end of the year, I think. It's
Possibly.
all done for him at this point.
So, are you changing predictions? Because you had predicted a Pakistan win.
I will have to.
Yeah, I think I'm the only one not changing predictions. I had predicted Sri Lanka will win. And I do see them being the favourites. Again, that long shot which I'm
It
giving.
will be a close match. It won't be a big margin defeat.
It really depends. I can't tell you anything with this Pakistan team because if they lose 2-3 early wickets, then I think it will be a big loss.
Yeah.
But if they can bat through a bit, they can make a contest out of
But
it.
also remember, we are all hoping that Babar Azam comes to home. Remember, Babar Azam's also not been in form.
Exactly.
If you look at it, he's actually struggled.
Correct.
For the last 2 months or so. You may say, okay, he does well against Bangladesh, but remember against the Netherlands,
He had a
flopped.
bad run.
And remember, at that time, the ball was spinning even more.
Exactly. In fact, that was the Hyderabad where it was really spinning.
Yes. So that is why I am not looking at too much into this thing. Shreyans is saying, is England bowling concerning? I would think so, because look what has happened. They took only 1 wicket against New Zealand. And I don't think they've been able to bowl out Bangladesh.
They're 1
easily.
wicket away now.
Yeah, but 223 for 9. But they're managed.
Their middle overs is a bit of a concern because again, I think normally there you'd hope that the likes of Wood and all can make some sort of an impact, but I don't think Wood has done much really. Economical, sure, but not really done much in terms of wickets. In fact, their best wicket takers have been Topley and Vokes, both of whom are new ball bowlers.
But again, Vokes has gone for runs again. 6
Vokes I expect to go for runs because after a point the swing goes away, he's not as effective.
Not really, because if you look at it in the T20 and prior to the World Cup, whenever he played, Vokes' X factor was the control.
He's not had that much control.
Yes, and if you go after Vokes, then I think your control factor goes off because you're relying on pure pace then from
exactly.
Wood
And Vokes is not really much of a pace guy. Yeah. So
Control,
actually, in that sense, he's all control. In fact, I think you know what else is not helping them. Sam Curran's not been in much good form.
Actually, yes, 6.9.
Curran,
And he was the one who I think took Will Young's wicket, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he made a nothing ball.
Yeah, 2 maidens, and after that got hit for 47 runs.
Yeah, but with Curran, I think he's also having that problem because again in T20s he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
ODIs he's tending to struggle a little bit because again Topley has shown you how to go about things. He was very, very good. Curran struggling a tad, and of course, see, Adil Rashid, look, can't take anything away from his figures, good enough.
Yeah.
But again, I think they need more in the middle overs. And that's from every bowler.
Yep.
Anyway,
because even Livingston chipped in today.
Yeah, and it's expected because again, they don't have Moeen.
That's
so Livingston will have to chip in.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll take your leave, I guess.
Yep, it's about to start. Babar Azam's Pakistan will be hoping to not lose this game because remember, if they lose, first time in the history of World Cups
That they would have lost to Sri Lanka.
Yes, that's a huge. And remember, their next game is also against India.
Yeah, which I would not expect them to be starting favorites. Let's be frank.
Exactly. So they would want to at least ensure that even if they win, it's to make a statement.
Correct.
But if they lose, it's not by a big margin.
Exactly.
So that's the situation.
Because again, remember, long tournament net run rate is going to come into play.
Yep. And remember, this will be the second match that Pakistan would have played. And after that, they are moving away from the comforts of Hyderabad.
Exactly. Comforts.
Yeah, the comforts indeed. So thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates from Sports Straight.
Dugout coming very soon.
Dugout also is there. So from me, Shane, and Nikhil was here. It's bye-bye. See you soon.